Hey guys, what's going on? Anyway, sitting here on the garage. There's the cold bolt compressor that we did the vinyl wrapping on. I still like it. It's been a few days and it's kind of growing on me. And you can kind of see, like on the Craftsman, you kind of can compare the effect of the vinyl wrap. Anyway, but today's video is going to be about something else. Again, you can hear the birds. I like to come out here, look at the different birds and see what we got. But I kind of saw something, and I don't know. I just decided to make a video just so I could, get that over with. There was an ad for they wanted a mechanic, 1 year experience for a dealership, and the ad says must have own tools, must have 1 year experience, and it has a listing of $11 to $29. I don't know anybody that's going to get that $29 that meets the requirements that they're listing. So it's a bait. So I called just out of fun, and I went ahead and I talked to the guy, and I told him, hey, been doing this a long time, blah, blah, blah. And you know what's the best they could do? Oh, they did ask me how much did I have in tools. And I told them, and they were surprised. So anyway, for some reason, that was a big determining factor on my pay scale. How much did I own in tools? And I told the guy, well, I'll tell you what, if I get hired, I'm going to need to get two 12x6 trailers to bring all my tools with me. How's that? Does that answer your question? So the best they could do was $16 an hour, giving all the experience. Oh, and not only that, it's not an hour, it's a flat rate. Okay, that's not going to work. So, we were too far apart. And makes me think of this topic. In 1986, and the reason I picked 1986 was because 86, we still were more or less old school. Once you bought all your tools, you really didn't buy too much more. You know what I mean? You didn't have to buy scanners, you didn't have to buy scopes, you didn't have to buy special testers, special sockets, special tool groups, updates, subscriptions, whatever. So in 1986, minimum wage was $3.35, and most shops, and I'm talking shops, not dealerships, were about $32 an hour flat rate. $32.50, $32, $30, $34. The dealerships were at $40 to $45. But most shops weren't doing flat rate. They were doing a percentage of the hourly rate. So in other words, if they charged, 4 hours for the job, or the book called for 4 hours, you would get, 40% of $32.50 for 4 hours. That was it, So, and that, if you're wondering, it's $13. So if you were, if you look at it, they were paying you $13 to be a mechanic. Minimum wage was $3.35. So if you do the math, how many times will, 335 divided into 13? I think it's a little bit over 3 times. I think it's 4. So you were making 400% more than, give or take. I mean, I'm not a genius, but we could see that there was a great gap. And not only that, $13 an hour back then, you could afford to, buy Snap-on. You could afford to buy, believe you me, Snap-on was just as expensive back then. I think wrench sets were around $289. I mean, they're what, $400 now, $489. So anyway, but I had a thought. What if I took that $13 and every year since then, I increased it by 3%, which is the national average, that people give you. You know, if you work as an office person, they give you 3%. You know, cost of living 3 to 6%, 3 to 7%. I went 3% across the board. So 3%. So what I come up with, if since 1986 you increased your cost or your pay raise by 3% every year since 1986, you should be at 35.42 an hour. 35.42 an hour. No shop that I know of pays 35.42 an hour, flat rate or not. I mean, on average. Yeah, they got that one special guy that he makes over 100,000. He's gone to all the schools, and he's somebody's brother-in-law. He's somebody-in-law's cousin, and it's. Hey, I'm just saying what I've seen as I've worked in 5 different dealerships. There's a little bit of nepotism, favoritism, and I won't say the last word because right now it's not proper. So in today's world, the shop rate is anywhere between $100 to $159. Okay, so at $159, if you were to get 40% of the billed labor, you'd get $63.57 an hour. $63.57 an hour. Can you imagine if you were to get $63.57 an hour? Oh my God. You could comfortably afford to keep up with the technology. You yourself could pay for the schooling. You yourself could pay for, staying current. And that's what happens. All these guys, that's why there's such a high turnover rate. The last dealership I was at, we had an incredible turnover rate. I think it was like 80%. I was there 5.5 years. In 5.5 years, I saw on average every year 80% turnover rate. Why? Because they hire. And they'll say, hiring, diesel mechanic, come work for the best. We pay $40 an hour. And then you go, and then they say, well, you're not this certified, you're not that certified. They start knocking you down. So we can only pay you $24 on a flat rate. Not an hour, flat rate. Okay. Not bad. Not bad if you hustle. But then what I saw was, okay, if a motor coach came in, like a motor coach, you go in the office, right there in the office, it says hourly rate $250. But you still get paid $24 an hour. Does that make any sense? Why do they get to charge more and your pay doesn't go up? There's a reason they're charging more. It's high risk. You have to be real careful. Don't scratch anything. Don't break anything. And they're a pain in the ass. You almost have to be a suitcase to work on some of the motor coaches because there's hardly no room to work in them. Or you got to remove the whole rear powertrain just to be able to work on it. But your pay doesn't reflect their charging. That's one example. Another example is, you might get a truck that comes in for a regen problem, 2639 code or 1921 code or 3285 code or whatever. And they give you 1 hour flat rate to diagnose it. But they'll charge the customer 2 or 3 hours. So you only got $24 in 1 hour, and at 159, yeah, they're over $400. You're not even getting 10% of what they're charging the guy. And I get it. The reason they do that is because of, there is so much money in repair shops that they have become publicly traded businesses. You want to know what you're working for? Go see if they're publicly traded or if they're owned by a group. Now they call themselves a group, automotive group, Cow Punchers Group, or whatever the name is. they have the name, it's called the group, which basically that tells you they have investors. So they have people that invest in the company, increase the value for the owner, and they expect money every quarter. And so everybody's expecting money, and guess what? Everybody's doing it on your back. So anyway, it's more of a rant. Is there money to be made? Yes. Can you make good money? Yes. But you have to fight for it. You have to look for the right employer that's gonna put money in your pocket and is gonna appreciate you as a technician. You know, like some of these dealerships, oh my God. I mean, it is amazing the amount of turnover these guys have. You know, I mean, it's amazing. You know, and I always like these guys. Oh yeah, I've been here 20 years, and you know, Bubba over here, he's been here 15 years, and Junior over there's been for 12 years. And then you go work there, and then you come to find out why they're the ones that have been there the longest. Because they're the ones that when there's 5 empty bays with technicians standing in them, their basket in the office has 15 tickets waiting for them that they won't give you. They won't give it to you. Because Bubba and Junior, they need to get their 80 hours a week flat rate. If not, they're going to quit. And you know, for whatever reason, you know, they don't want that to happen. And in the meantime, you got 5 or 6 technicians daily. And that's when things were going good. Now it's, you know, you have a 30, 40 bay shop. Now you got 50% daily standing around, looking around like, what are we going to do today? You know, and you're flat rate, so you know what that means. You're not getting paid. You know, so you're clawing your way through that. Anyway, went kind of long. Give me your thoughts on that. Honestly, these damn vehicles are just getting so hard to work on. You know, because you need to be educated. You need to be going to school. You need to have the correct tools. You need to have the correct... Hey, do me a favor. Go watch 5-Star Audio and watch some of their videos. I like the 911 rescue videos. 5-Star Audio. Watch a few of their videos and watch that guy's toolbox. Look at how many different devices he owns just to install stupid radio in a car. And this guy's just doing audio. I mean, they do a stellar job. But go watch his tools. I mean, go watch how many tools he has. And that's what he has to have. And, you know, and if you go through their menu, you'll be surprised on the different types of cars they're working on. And they do quality work. But look at the tools that they have to have for installing a radio. I mean, that's a perfect example. You know, you take your car to some shop, they're going to charge you whatever to install a radio. You know, you take, and like, there's this one video, they're doing one on a Honda, brand new Honda. And of course, everything, so it's CAN bus, right? Everything's CAN bus. So CAN bus is, it's like a circle. The information goes from unit to unit to unit. If you lose a body module, if you lose whatever kind of module on the CAN bus, you're losing the network, right? So these guys are smart enough to know that now the newer cars, the radio is a CAN bus. You know, and especially some of these cars where a lot of the touchscreen stuff is going through the display and the audio. You know, the AC, different things. You know. Oh look at those birds. It's pretty neat. They're fighting. Anyway, 5-Star Audio. Go check it out. Hey, leave a comment. Sorry I went long. Just video that I've been debating whether to make or not. And I mean, really, honestly, guy, you know, dealerships. If you want to hire experience, pay for experience. I mean, honestly, there's a place here called Bill Miller's. They all they do is sell barbecue food. You know, they're a pretty good chain. They have several locations in multiple cities. Starting pay there is $15 an hour. You don't need nothing but yourself to come on in. I'm gonna bring up another one, Buc-ee's. If you ever come to Texas, especially towards the east, you're gonna see one. Pull in, you'll like it. All it is a gas station, and they sell food, and they sell shirts, and they sell just different things, and it's a bucket list thing. If you work at Buc-ee's as an associate, Buc-ee's starts you off at $17 an hour. No tools required, no special skill, no experience. Just, can you smile? Can you be friendly? And can you do the job we give you? And $17 an hour. I mean, come on, standing around keeping stuff, organized and cups full, it's not real hard. $17 an hour. So there is a big gap between the repair industry and some of the other industries, because, I mean, come on, Buc-ee's and Bill Miller's serving sandwiches, serving foods. I mean, $15 an hour here, around, I mean, literally a block away from my house. And Buc-ee's, 17 starting. I mean, come on. And then the dealership wants 1 year experience with tools, and they want you to be able to do all kinds of stuff. And then they want to throw you on a flight rate at $11 an hour or $15 an hour. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's coming. I don't know how much longer it's going to be, but there's going to be a big shortage of technicians here pretty soon, is my speculation. Hey, leave a comment. Went long. Got to go.